What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, Joker back again, once again, and depending on when this video is recorded, the final interference mission has come and gone. I was a bit late getting around to playing it because, well, I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be real honest, I was far too busy playing RRR Simp 2020, Breath of the Waifu, to really care.
I've looked at this for 5 hours now.
I mean, there was also this whole thing about not really wanting to play Gambit Perfected and running Menagerie twice. I mean, I did get this Austringer that would be really great if the middle perk didn't suck, if range mattered on hand cannons, and I don't know if it wasn't getting Sunset in a couple of weeks. But hey, you know what? You win some, you lose some. Anyways, so the final interference mission, what are my thoughts? Well, the ambience is nice. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The final interference mission was nothing more than one last gasping death rattle to a season that's been on life support since it released. And while no sane individual would blame Bungie for the delay of Beyond Light and stretching the season out, things like the interference story mission were planned long before shit hit the fan, because it had to tie into Beyond Light. So for those of you who haven't played it, and because every video is somebody's first, like with all interference missions, you go and you pick up the quest. Then you go play some Gambit Perfected. Then you go play whatever the weekly arbitrary playlist is for this activity thing, whatever. Once you've completed all the padding, you're ready to actually play the mission! Yay! Of course, it starts out like every interference mission. You go to Io, you make your way to the Tree of Silver Wings, you fight your way through the hordes of Taken and Hive, and you damage the Eye of Savathûn, only to get teleported to the Ascended Realm, aka locations and assets that would look a hell of a lot cooler if it wasn't for this dumb black and white filter all over everything, washing it out. Which I get is kind of the point, but But I digress. This time, unlike every other time you've done the interference mission, you're teleported to a new location. You're standing outside of a location that might look familiar, the Court of Oryx. Well, not really the Court of Oryx, more like the Court of Savathûn, unless Savathûn's on the Dreadnought and has just done some redecorating. But again, I digress. As you make your way along this platform towards the Court of Savathûn, Nokris starts monologuing.
You are a child reaching toward a flame. The Taken Queen would not have you burnt. Pledge your allegiance and be reborn.
Nokris, Oryx's foundling and exiled brother to Crota. He is now bound to Savathûn as a catalyst for her interference. Silence it.
You are but one in a chain of failures, claimed and sunken.
And this actually goes on for the entire fight.
Oryx, Crota, Zol, gods and gods, end your fate and walk unhindered.
Not the best way to deliver dialogue, but sometimes with Destiny, you gotta take what you can get. So Nokris gives you the sales pitch to try to bring you over onto his side because he knows he's about to get his cheeks clapped, just like last time. And speaking of just like last time, the fight goes down almost exactly like the original Nokris fight, except this time, he summons witches, some sword knights, and some ogres, and his invincibility crystals are slightly further away from the battlefield. But other than that, it's a copy and paste of the Nokris boss fight. So once you've defeated Nokris and everybody's done cheering...
Congratulations! Congratulations! Congratulations.
Erismorn says she's going to bring you back, but suddenly... the darkness... interferes with her teleportation. Gasp! Shock! Horror! Lightning crackle, lightning crackle, lightning crackle! Where you're brought to what I assume is the inside of a pyramid ship, where you see a pyramid ship statue floating above all the Destiny races, including humans, offering up supplication. The darkness makes their DLC pitch.
Don't you see? It is as we once said. In light, there is only weakness. Only failure. Only death. But where the light takes, the dark gives. No longer will you be a pawn. No longer will you watch the lives of those you care for be lost. Remember, in darkness there is only strength, only victory, only life. Ancient power awaits you on Europa.
I guess we're just gonna ignore the fact that the Darkness spent the better part of a year with a ball gag in its mouth because Oryx's failed post-birth abortion and his auntie bitch witch decided to play a nice fun game of hide and seek with the telephone. Anyways, after the sales pitch, you are returned to Eris. And that's it. So this is all fairly bog standard, except I really don't understand the point of all of this. And not in that I'm somehow magically unable to comprehend that I have just, no, I get that perfectly. I get that we had to kill Nokris, but couldn't he have, I don't know, learned some new moves? I mean, it didn't work the first time, but hey, whatever, you know what? Limitations. What I don't get is the hype around the Darkness's offer. Like, I don't know, have people not paid attention for the last few months of advertising? Or, read the Book of the Unveiling? The Darkness made this exact same offer a year ago.
But Joker!
I hear you cry out in your shrill, tremulous voice.
Not everybody reads the lore!
Well, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And you know what? The revelation that there's arcane power waiting for us on Europa is kinda lost when we've had marketing telling us this for months. And you can't really use the delay as an excuse because Bungie would have been marketing Beyond Light before the end of this season, so we would have been in the same boat then as we are now. In terms of the narrative impact of this revelation being lost because spoilers. And I mean, don't get me wrong, as critical as I can be sometimes, I'm actually excited for Europa and Beyond Light and all the new stuff coming out. But this mission just sort of encapsulates the last few years of Destiny's in-game storytelling. They're just repeating the same thing over and over and over again. We see this with the pyramid ships at the end of Destiny 2. Then Forsaken tells us Savathun is coming, if not already here. And then we have the Queen's Court missions, which tell us that the Queen is preparing for the arrival of the pyramid ships. Then Shadowkeep looked like it was going to play into the Savathun Ziva Wrath stuff that had been going on, but really, all it did at the end of the day was tell us, hey, the pyramid ships are coming, which we knew. And do we even want to start with Season of the Worthless? Which, again, the whole point was the pyramid ships are coming, we need to get ready, and then we do a lot of BS to get Rasputin ready for the pyramid ships. And, well, we all remember how that turned out.
And I killed all but one of them.
What happened to the last one?
Bust out like a bitch.
Now the pyramid ships are here, and they're, well...
He's just standing there, menacingly.
They're just kinda there, telling us that they're coming, that the Darkness is coming. Wait, what? And then at the end of Season of Arrivals, all the plot-relevant information that we get is little more than a bloated DLC advertisement.
Ancient power awaits you on Europa.
Nani the fuck? Look, jokes and memes and being critical aside, this might have actually been really hype if A, we'd not already known about it through the advertisements of Beyond Light, and B, basically, we've already had the same discussion with the Darkness in the Book of the Unveiling a year ago. This is exactly like when you watch a movie and all the cool shit has been shown in the trailers, and everything that's left in the movie is the movie trying to sell you on the sequel. So basically most of the DC live action movies. And don't get me wrong, if you like this mission, if it got you hyped for Beyond Light, more power to you. I'm just not a fan of reruns. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Remember to like, but only if you did. Subscribe for more. Feel free to donate to my Patreon if you're feeling particularly generous. But above all else, stay frosty.